Hello there, welcome to my reaction to the Halo TV show is extremely bad by Actman. I actually thought, should I make this reaction or not? Because I have no idea. Not no idea, but I barely know anything about Halo. And I had no interest in watching the Halo series. But if it is extremely bad, I'm kind of intrigued. My pretty much only experience with Halo, at least like Halo gameplay, is from Russian Badgers videos. And then just knowing a couple things here and there, just like in general. And that's it. So, without further ado, let's begin. Before that, you can like, comment, subscribe, or after, I don't care. But please.
This is a man who apparently sticks to a deal. He walks in the back door, takes off all his clothes in the laundry room, and goes in search of the decoy.
You want to explain yourself? Grab that towel right there, please. Wrap it around yourself, and please sit in that stool. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Making a mistake.
Making a mistake. You drive into somebody's driveway, walk into their
Prison cell.
strip naked, and walk in. What is going on in your mind? You don't know.
Stupid mistakes.
Stupid mistakes. Now, what do you think would have happened
John,
had I not been here and had there actually been
a Covenant spy.
in that next room? What would have happened after you walked in there naked?
I guess something probably would have happened.
Something like what?
Something along sexual lines.
Like you would have had sex with
A weird Covenant lady.
I'm not sure if I would have done that, but
Master Chief.
You're naked.
yeah, I wouldn't have gone.
So that's supposed to be Master Chief?
You went all the way when you took your clothes off, just about.
Does he take his helmet off ever? Never mind the
What would have
armor.
been going on in this house had I not been here? Am I wrong to think that?
No, you're not.
I don't even know what to say. I don't know how to start this video. The Halo TV series is despicable. It's terrible.
Okay. I hope there will be comparison to the game, so I
Why?
at least get
Why are
some
you doing
context.
this? Why are you doing this to me?
Who is the Covenant lady? I don't know who that is. I don't know about Master Chief Cortana and George.
Paramount 343. Why are you subjecting me to torture and character assassination of one of the greatest, most iconic video game characters of all time? I just can't get behind this show anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
I
He's
can't
one of
do
the
it.
most iconic
So
ones,
this is
even though
going
I've
to
never
be
played the
a
games.
kind of review rant video. Not sure what it is, but I'm kind of fired up.
Just
Now,
the fact that
listen,
I know who he is without playing any games ever tells the story.
there are some good aspects of the show. Let's not act like it's entirely bad and the spawn of Satan, right? Some of the
Okay.
visuals have been pretty great. The art style is consistent with the games. The acting is all right. Of course, I know all about that. And I think there is quite a diverse array of characters. The costumes and set design is, it looks good to me. And the rare fight sequences are pretty epic when they do happen, and that's when it feels like Halo. But whenever I watch the show, it feels like it's explicitly setting out to not be Halo. And I don't
Yeah.
know why.
That
the
happens
Halo
with
TV
the
series has officially jumped
video
the
game
shark in
based
the
things.
8th episode of its first season. Now, granted, it wasn't all that great leading up to this, but who would have thought Master Chief would officially lose his V-card to a Covenant spy and potentially result in the destruction of Reach?
This is it, baby. Hold me.
Master Chief
Yes,
just committed
please.
a war crime. And I can't hate this character any less than I do. Master Chief's character has been completely and utterly assassinated by Paramount Plus and 343 Industries. And they might come up with the excuse of, well, this is just
I hate
a
that.
different timeline.
I hate
This
the
is-
cuts to see him in a helmet. What the fuck is the point? It adds nothing. Just show him in a suit and that's it. There is no need to show his face for it.
the silver timeline, alternate reality, it's not canon, different universe, blah, 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 whatever. You called him Master Chief, okay? This is your version of Master Chief. Let's not pretend like he's somebody else, okay? You're basing this off the source material, and you failed to accurately adapt that source material. I have a right to be pissed about that. And so does everyone else. Okay, yeah, I get it. It's a TV series based off of some video games. It's not going to ruin my life if it sucks. But I will let it ruin my life for at least one day. You know, again, it's okay to like the show. Don't let me or anyone else interrupt you from enjoying this if you do. That's not the point. It's just, for the love of God, 8 years for this. We waited 8 years for this.
Is it 8 years in the
This show
making?
was first announced when MCC was announced. That's how long it's been.
The Halo universe
God,
is an amazing
fucking damn.
opportunity to be at that intersection where technology and myth-making meet to produce something really groundbreaking.
Thank you,
And
Steven.
I'm incredibly excited about the great journey we're all on, the heroes, worlds, and wonders that Halo will take us on. Thank you.
All right.
And as if I didn't have enough problems with the show itself,
pretty much 9
fucking
years.
Paramount has to go around copyright claiming all sorts of videos criticizing the show. It's like, fuck you, dude. Leave Angry Joe alone. Let him do his thing. Sorry, Paramount, this video isn't gonna suck your balls. I don't back down to copyright abusers that don't understand fair use. I'd say for all the time I've spent watching the Halo TV series,
Just happened.
about 10% of it has actually felt like it was based on Halo. And everything else is just shit that you could swap in any generic sci-fi universe, story, or plot, and it would be the exact same. Nothing about what makes Halo special and interesting is present in the show. Almost nothing.
I don't know why it always happens. Like, you have a source material, and then you, instead of taking the source material and then making your own kind of media, like taking a game and making a TV series, why would you change the story from the source material? Like, if source material is loved to begin with, for including for the story, as far as I know, why would you change it? You want to show less action? Sure, but at least the scenes should kind of matter the same way they did in game, because I'm 100% sure that it's not 100%, but not 100% of the games is just shootings. There are cutscenes where there is at least some kind of dialogue happening. There is something going on, but nope, they did this. I don't know.
Could we possibly make any more noise?
That looks like a PS3.
You know,
Still far PS4 game.
Out of all the things you could have a Halo TV show do, like, why are we following Master Chief to fucking his home and, like, watching him walk around parks and, like, doing nothing, just, like, doing his fucking laundry?
To extend the show.
343, I don't understand why you guys seem to hate Halo. Like, why you insist on turning it into something worse, something it's not and was never meant to be, in order to appeal to some broader audience. And some people might say, well, it's actually the showrunner's fault. And yeah, you're right. At the same time,
But they greenlit it and
somebody at
allowed it.
343 had to have looked over the scripts, read it, and said, yeah, you have the go-ahead, or someone at Microsoft. My problem is whoever approved this story should be fired out of a cannon and into the sun. And if nobody at 343 is
That
reading
would
the
be a
scripts,
strong
well,
cannon.
then I'd say they have a bigger problem with laziness on their hands. I'm not sure which one would be worse, to be honest. The show pretty much fell apart the second Master Chief revealed his face. It was not earned. It was not emotional. It didn't provide anything. He's showing his face to this random insurrectionist, Quan Ha, a character that I and many other people just don't like. And it's like 40 minutes into the first episode, he takes his helmet off and just
in the
ruins any
first-
potential mystery, any potential build-up to what he looked.
You should have done that. That kind of reveal of a character taking off their helmet should not be episode 1. Or should not be like you can take the Mandalorian route where when he does take the helmet off, he's alone. He's not showing the face of someone else. Like to consume food and stuff, because Master Chief probably needs to do that. If you want to do it like this, you need to do it perfectly, maybe, would be at the end of the series. Like, that's it. That's the finale of the fucking all of the series. And then in the last episode, he would take the helmet off in relief that he has to never put it again. I don't know. Maybe he's dying, maybe something else. There's some kind of grand reason for him not maybe putting on the armor ever again. Or at the very least, you can do it in the end of the first season. Well, it's the finale of the first season, and you give him a reason to take the helmet off, like they did in Mandalorian as well, where he needed to do that to survive, to get healed, whatever. Sorry if I spoiled Mandalorian to anyone, but if you haven't seen it at this point, you probably never will. I don't know. It's just a character who's known for the armor, who's known for this look, shouldn't go away from the look in the beginning of the series. It's insanely fucking dumb.
Like, at that moment, this was no longer Master Chief, it was John. And it's been John ever since. This is not Master Chief. This is a guy who stole Master Chief's armor and is pretending to be him. You know, he'd be a terrible character even if he wasn't based on Green Spaceman. You know what I mean? It's like, why blow your load on the first fucking episode? Do the showrunners...
Yeah. It feels like, imagine Half-Life. Right, the games, they have a great story, but then they put it here where they change the story for some reason. And in the first episode, Gordon talks. That would be off-putting. It will off-put anyone, any kind of fan of the series, of the game series, from watching your show because you changed something that is notorious for the character. I don't know.
Not understand the impact and legacy of Master Chief's face and what revealing it actually means. It's almost a joke how often he tries to not wear his armor. You know what I mean? In one scene, he puts his helmet on and 20 seconds later takes it off. Like, what's the point of the armor? He never fucking wears the damn thing. This is the problem with showing Chief's face so callously. We didn't get a chance to know him as the guy in the armor, and now he's going through like 7 episodes of character development when we don't even know what character is being developed. We haven't gotten to know him in this new alternate timeline. And thus the face reveal is not earned. Remember how the Fire Lord was built up in Avatar and how epic and earned that felt to finally see the Fire Lord's face? And what an imposing presence he had? Imagine how much more interesting the show would be through the use of clever camera angles, lighting, and shadows to hide Master Chief's face when he had his helmet off. The potential for all of that was just thrown away, and now Master Chief was just like, why is Master Chief such a dick? Why is he shouting all the time and yelling? Don't give me this crap about his personality emotion chip that he took out. Why are we even focusing on that in the first place? Why is this not just a simple story about guys blasting aliens? At least start the show with the original premise of Halo and weave in the UNSC angle to it, the Oni stuff, and the controversies around the Spartans. You know, this is why we can have 3 different versions of Spider-Man all in the same movie, and they all feel like Spider-Man. Because none of
Because
them
there was a
were sitting
build-up.
there like some grizzled war veteran with a jagged scar down his face like, my old man used to tell me, with great power comes great responsibility. God, I hate you, Uncle Ben. Because that's not Spider-Man, and this isn't Master Chief. If you're able to somehow make Halo 5 look better in comparison, you really fucked up bad.
What do you think that's about?
Because at least Master Chief's character wasn't assassinated. He was just boring. I don't understand why they didn't just elect to retell the game's original story.
Yeah, they
Right?
never
Wouldn't
do
it
for
have
some
been
reason.
easier to do that? Let me pose
It
a
would have
question.
been.
What would you rather be watching? The current show we have or a retelling of Combat Evolved? Exactly. You know, we've been hearing this talk from 343. We want Halo to appeal to a broader audience. Well, why the fuck does Halo need to change to appeal to a broader audience?
Yes.
It already has.
You know how this will appeal to a broader audience? By making it in a TV series format. Because there are a lot of people, like me, I don't really want to play the games. But if I heard that Halo TV series is a good retelling of the story of the games, I'd watch it. And I feel like there are a lot of people like me, or just people who are like, okay, this is based on the games that like I never heard of, but people say it's good, so I'll watch it. Or people say, like, they don't mention that it's based on the game, and just people hear that, oh, Halo is a good, like, sci-fi TV series. But no, by appeal to broader audience, you change it entirely, and you're trying to get the old audience of the Halo fans by having Halo in the title and then having a suit sometimes. That's the only thing you do, and that's the only thing you've got for retaining, that's the word, I think, retaining the old fans, the fans of the series and stuff. It's such a lose-lose situation to change the thing entirely. Why? You're not trying to be a new Uwe Ball? Is that what that is about? What is this?
Has one.
If you have been paying any attention today, you know Halo 2 is Xbox's most potent weapon yet in the battle against Sony's PlayStation. Early results, in fact, are blowing away expectations. Microsoft is just coming out and saying now
Yeah,
that
and
it
TV
expects
series
to
will
take
make
in
less money than
$100
this.
million in sales just today.
Than Halo 2 on day one.
Game Halo 2. Halo 2, as you can see, the crowd is here. We all love Halo 2. The crowd is here. Yeah.
November 9th, and the launch of what is perhaps one of the most anticipated console video games of all time. I'm going to step aside and let these guys tell you what it is.
Did you miss that whole part where Halo 3 was the biggest video game ever released and the largest grossing single media product ever at that point in time?
At the time, yeah.
Halo 3 is here.
Did you look at that 343? Did you look at Halo 3's success and say, but I want more? Look, I can respect wanting to adapt a show to merchandise Halo and to build all sorts of products and toys and...
But you can still take the original story and, like, it's the first game, right? There's not gonna be that much story. It's a shooter game, kind of. So maybe there is not enough story to tell through, what, 8 episodes? 10 episodes? I don't know how many there's actually. But you can add on top of it some weird things here and there, some like little B-plot, side stories, stuff like that. You can add them here and there without changing the main storyline. I don't see the point. And frankly, seems like no one sees the fucking point. You don't want to do Halo Combat Evolved, like the first Halo story? Sure, start somewhere else. Maybe the showrunner played the Halo game, and his favorite is, let's say, 3. Take that story and do it. And then, if you find success in, like, taking the story and then doing it, like, the problem is that I think showrunners, the writers, the staff, they have to be close to the source material, like, themselves. They have to be fans of the original project. And if they are not, they would just like, okay, so there was this guy in a suit. Okay, so here he's in the suit and here he's the guy. Like, no. Obviously, it seems like, might not be true, but it seems like you've never seen or played the games. I am this passionate about it without giving a shit about Halo. So,
stuff around Halo. If those are quality products, they deserve to be sold, and 343 deserves to make some money off of that. It's fine to branch out, but every tree has to stick to its roots. Why not just start the first episode with Halsey and Captain Keyes going to see Chief as a kid, or John, and being like, wow, yeah, he's special. Oh, yeah, this kid's gonna do great things, blah, blah, blah. And then we cut to the Pillar of Autumn, and Master Chief wakes up and he goes through the Pillar of Autumn, and he does all that, and there's time to establish the characters, and you introduce the Marines, and there's like Mendoza, Vicente, all those unique voice actors for the Marines to make them diverse. And so we get to know this ship and its inhabitants before disaster strikes, and then we land on the ring. And you can just take the original Halo
you lost
story,
me while
cover
explaining
that
this,
in the
but
first season or the second, and then weave in the backstory through that. You can do unique things when adapting the same story.
Yes.
But you have to do it right, and this isn't the way. So much of the Halo TV series focuses on shit I have absolutely no interest in. Like Desert
Probably no one
Planet,
does.
singing Asian monks or whatever. Like, I don't get it.
That sounds like a Doctor
Foehammer?
Who
Where's
episode.
Sergeant Johnson? Like, Foehammer is so critical.
That is a Doctor Who episode. It's Matt Smith with Jonah Coleman's. They were singing monks on like a desert, kind of deserty planet. What?
Critically underrated in the first game.
That was a great episode of Doctor Who, by the way, but I'm guessing it's not gonna work in
And we
fucking
never saw
Halo.
what she looked like. Wouldn't that be a cool opportunity to introduce this character? But what do I know? Why were the prophets introduced so early on? Why are they speaking in a foreign language? Having the Covenant transition to speaking English in Halo 2 was to make them more relatable, and now the prophets are not really relatable to me anymore.
This heretic and those who follow him must be silenced.
Their slander offends all who walk the path.
Especially
I don't
since
know
some
who
fucking
those are. I've
human
never
is hanging out with
seen
them,
those
and like their
them
whole
before.
mission is to exterminate every single human ever. It makes no goddamn sense.
This armor suits you, but it cannot hide that mark.
Nothing ever will. You are the arbiter, the will of the prophets. But these
Oh, I heard
are
that name
my
before.
elites. Their lives matter to me. Yours does not. That makes two of us.
Then there's the sex scene, which
You can
goddamn.
skip this,
Halo
it's
was
fine.
never about romance and sex, at least
Yeah,
not
it feels
often.
cringe
The
immediately
only
just thinking about.
romance was between Chief and Cortana, which was a platonic, implied, and very subtle romance. Or sorry, not romance, but love story. If anyone should have gotten some pussy, it should have been my man.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
If you wanted to have Master Chief involved
Or
in
George.
some kind of love story, that
Please
is
never.
fine, but it has to be done
Show
right,
George.
and it should be way later in the story. The reason Halo 4 works on a narrative level is because the first 3 games happened before it. Remove that context and Halo 4 is fucking dead weight. But that's exactly what we have. We have this love story that we're expected to care about just because it's happening right now. And some parts of the show are just downright hilarious when I know the story isn't trying to be funny. Like Maki's backstory, she's reading a book with some kid in a cave on the dumpster planet, and they're about to kiss, and some guy just hops out with a baton and is like, "Hey, get back here!" And he chases the kids down, and then he beats to death one of the kids, and is like, "That's why you never read books on the dumpster planet." I'm like, what the fuck is happening? He just beat some kid up for reading a book. God, it's like
Kid should have touched some grass, I
isn't
guess.
a Halo show. It's not what I wanted. You're alienating the core fan base who supported your products and your business for years. I don't think that's really a good business venture. You've been trying to sell Halo to a broader audience ever since you got a hold with it. It didn't work with Halo 4. It maybe worked a little bit with Halo 5, you could argue. And it's not really working with Halo Infinite. It's not working for me with the TV show. You know, money can buy talent. It can buy special effects. It can buy all the props
TV ratings
and the biggest actors you could possibly need. But money can't buy vision, and that's what the show lacks. Quite honestly, I felt that's what Halo has lacked in the last 11 years. A consistent vision of what it should be. And so, yeah, those are my thoughts on the Halo TV show. It's hard to watch. It hurts to watch. And it's not just because of the sex scene. I think that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah, so I had to rant about it. Had a jolly good time. What do you think of the Halo show? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Go support Angry Joe. And also subscribe to me for more awesome content. All right, everyone. That's all I got for today.
Like Angry Joe.
The Act Man signing out. Peace.
But even then, he shouldn't be copyrighted. Anyway, if I go back to my point of you should be close to the source material, not that point. You should know the source material. You should live through it, like reading it, playing it. Depends on what it is. A good example would be Witcher, because the Witcher series, like the game series, I played through them. I know the story relatively enough. And that was great. And then TV series came out, and the only thing I like in it is Geralt, played by Henry Cavill. But he, on multiple interviews, said that he's a fan of the game series. I think he even said that he read the books, which I didn't. And it feels like he's putting his heart and soul into the character, while nobody else around him does the same. So it kind of feels awkward. I watched the first season. It was alright. It wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad either. But season 2, I watched it with a friend, like maybe 2 episodes, and we gave up. Because it's just weird. I don't know. It feels like it misses something. I think I could pull myself through watching the full season 2, but it would be weird. Like, it wouldn't be comfortable or probably enjoyable. My patience for the series ran out in season 1, I guess. For like just some miscasts or just performance who are not doing that well. I don't know. Like the outfits as well, like sometimes and all that stuff. A lot of things around it do not work well around the series itself. So that's the only parallel I can make to like in recent years and stuff. Because there's also like Uwe Boll, who was making movies based on games, but he was making them specifically bad because he's not a fan of the movies and it's just a laundering scheme for him to get the money. Or like tax-free money. I don't know how it works. I just know that he didn't care about the source material entirely, and it shows. Not a single movie of his is good, as far as I know. But he just bought the rights to make them. I guess made them just to launder some money. I don't know. But anyway. Also, about the marketing thing. You don't have to change the story to make anything marketable. It already is. How many people have or even want to have like a Master Chief figurine in their home? Fuck it, like a Funko Pop. Like something. connecting them to the series. Maybe not of him, maybe of Cortana. Maybe like a t-shirt with them, with the Halo logo, with something. It's already marketable. It's a big franchise, and because people love it, it's marketable already. Changing stuff in it makes it, like, changing it could be good, but you're not making it good. So you're changing it in a bad way, which makes it less marketable and less profitable in the long run, even in the short run. It just doesn't make sense. But fine. You do you, and maybe one day Halo lovers will get something good that's not a game, or even a good game. It seems like they've been struggling. Anyway, thank you, anybody who watched this. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye. Have a great life, because one of us has to.